Welcome back. At Issue Today, teenagers working in TV, radio, and even print, online that is, Amanda Simpel's high school's online paper recently won an award. They were voted the best electronic newspaper at the Toronto Star's High School Newspaper Contest. Welcome to the show, Amanda. Tell me about it's online. How do students access the paper?
Basically, you just have to have a computer. You go on the internet and you just put in the URL or go to our school website and click on the link.
Why is that easier than just handing the students a piece of paper with the
More
newspaper?
people are apt to read it. Not
students.
a lot of people at our school read the print paper. We don't publish it all that often just because of the expense and the amount of writers we actually have for the print paper. So it's just much more convenient for them in the middle of class to look up it online or to go on their spare time.
Tell me how you first got involved in working on the paper.
Well, I was in the writer's craft class, and they are actually the ones who publish all the articles onto the website in the first place. The teacher who runs the class is usually the one who's in charge of the paper. And she asked me if I wanted to be part of the course because she thought I was good in her other English course, and I said yes. And
Why did you say yes?
It just seemed like something interesting, something different. I've never really done anything like that within school before, so I thought it would be an interesting experience.
Clearly you were good at it because this year you're the editor.
Yeah, clearly.
Why did you decide to be the editor of the paper?
Again, I thought it would be a good experience. I had never really thought of doing any kind of journalism sort of thing outside of the class. It's not exactly my favorite piece of writing. I love doing the stories and screenplays and that sort of thing. But she offered it to me, and the fact that she thought I was good enough and she thought that I had what it took, I thought, why not? It would be a good way to spend part of my grade 12 year.
Now, your paper, I feel like I shouldn't call it a paper, but it is a newspaper. It's online. Has covered lots of different stories in the school. And the one that I think really was quite significant was the GayStraight Alliance that formed at your school.
Yeah.
What kind of coverage did you give to that club?
Well, first off, the club is just about people who are either gay or straight, and you don't actually have to say what you are. You can just show up. They watch movies. They do a lot of different research and stuff like that to figure out how we've progressed in the sense of being homophobic or not. And our whole class had to write an article about it. And what I found interesting was the range of articles we had. We had people who interviewed people who said, I'm for it. We had people who said, I'm completely against it. We should get rid of it now. What's our staff thinking, bringing it into the school? Then there was articles who had a bit of both, saying, no, but it's their choice, so I'm going to be okay with it for that sense. So I definitely think that was what was the most interesting part about it, was just the wide range of people's emotion from our school. And what eventually got published in your online paper? Everyone's article got published. We got some interesting comments back, which I think also made it interesting. There was such a controversial topic that people that didn't even go to our school were commenting to us, and our teacher had to go through and say, which comments should I allow up? Because there were some that were borderline, they shouldn't be on school website. But then there was others, it's like, you know what, that's a good point. We should put that on, have our writers respond back. So I think that was also what made that a really interesting article. How do you think it would have been different if it was an adult coming in and covering the event at your school or the club at your school versus you guys getting to do it yourself? I don't think they would have had the same view just because we were interviewing our friends and our classmates, so they were more open to say, here's what I think. And it was easier for us to put them into a context where they didn't seem horrible, but at the same time they were being true to themselves. And whereas an adult would come in and they would just try and be more apt to say, yes, I'm okay with it, or no, I'm not, depending on the vibe from the adult. So you guys were much more honest about it, it sounds like. I definitely feel that we were, seeing us as our own classmates and our friends. Why would you keep something that you feel from them? Because they know you anyways, so. And this is quite a small town that you live in as well, right? Yeah, what's the population? Pretty small. I don't know the population. We're talking like thousands, not hundreds of thousands or millions. Yeah, definitely not millions. Yeah. Way less than that. So was that quite a controversial thing to have this GayStraight Alliance? Yeah, we were actually the last school in our district to get the GayStraight Alliance Club in the first place. And so that was definitely interesting. I never heard of it up until the point when our school actually had it on the PA saying, come join on Mondays at lunch sort of thing. I never heard about it until then. And then our teachers started talking about it and said, okay, I don't know what the club's about. That's what you guys are going to go do. I'm going to learn from whatever you guys write to me. And so off we went.
Sounds
spend
like
our couple class times interviewing teachers and staff and stuff.
It sounds like they're very supportive of the paper, and your teacher's very supportive of what
Oh,
you do.
they are. You show up to a class unless they're doing a test, and you say, I need so-and-so, I'm writing for the paper, I need to speak to them. They'll let you take them out of the entire class if you want, without any questions.
Has a teacher ever told you not to write an article, not to cover an event?
No, but I think it's because it was a teacher running it, so therefore she made sure everything was okay before she brought it to our class.
And how do you decide what stories you're going to cover?
I just listen to what everyone else is saying and what they think would be interesting. I do talk with our teacher. Right now we only have one article up right now till we get more things going and we get our video feed that we're trying to get for the paper and that sort of thing. So right now it's just seeing where things go, feeling out.
What difference do you think it makes at your school that students have a voice like this to, I guess, share their views?
Well, I think people are less secretive. Obviously, everyone has their own hidden secrets and stuff like that, but they are definitely more open to say, here's what I believe. Like I said, they were more apt to tell us truthfully what they felt, even though, yes, it was going to be online. Yes, their names were going to be in the article because we were quoting them. But at the same time, I think that has definitely helped.
If someone wants to read it, can anybody go online and read what you're writing?
Yeah, as long as if they Google EDSS, they can just get right onto our school website, and from there's a link to the online paper.
Is there any advice you would give to somebody watching right now who's your age, who's thinking of something they might want to do, journalism?
Even if it's not journalism, if it's something that you think, oh, that might be an interesting experience, just do it. Yes, it might take some time. Yes, you might not like it in the end, but it could lead to some interesting places. I never thought of going to the Toronto Star Wars, and all of a sudden, hey, you want to go? Which just completely took me by surprise.
What was that like going there?
It was interesting. I
don't
think
you had
I
to get up
expected
doing your
it.
G2 to
Yeah,
go.
I was supposed to get my G2 that day, but then I had to cancel that. I was fine canceling that. It was really interesting. There was only 3 students from my school who went along with our teacher. They gave us a tour of the plant and explained how they published the paper. And then we went to the actual ceremony, and they gave out everyone's awards. It took a long time. There's a lot of schools there, but it was really interesting, and it was definitely interesting because they also set people within journalism at our tables, and they talked to us about what they've done and different articles they were working on and what they felt about journalism. So it was definitely interesting to get that feedback from someone actually within the field too.
Someone watching at home right now, listening to you talk, would think, oh, this woman is going to go on to be this famous journalist. What do you want to do after you graduate?
Adoption law. Eventually.
So you don't want to do journalism? Why not?
I think journalism would be an interesting backup, but it's not, at this point in time, it's not what I feel like I should be doing. I feel everyone has something in life that they should be working towards, and journalism, as fun as it is now, doesn't feel like it's where I'm supposed to be in the future.
So law.
So, yeah, law. Start with social work. We'll see where that goes.
Well, if it's anything like your journalism, I'm sure you'll do very well.
No, I hope so too.
Thank you very much for coming in today.
Not
I appreciate your time. Well, when we return, rock and roll journalism. That's next.